It's good to have a friend, but it's a blessing to have a faithful friend. Jesus, you are the faithful friend I have in the intimate part of my heart. It's good to have a friend, but it's a blessing to have a faithful friend. Jesus, you are the faithful friend I have in the intimate part of my heart.
Hello everybody, happy to see you men in front of the televisions waiting for your wonderful TV show Let's Speak English with your wonderful humble servant Mr. Mike Nsuka. You know, it's what we'll be doing, okay, and what we should be doing. It's what we advise you time to time, giving lessons, practicing together, as last time we've seen the way of pronouncing, right? Avoiding some bad pronunciations such as should, would, sign, okay, significance, and so on. And I appreciate you too much when you call me, for congratulating me, for encouraging, saying, Mr. Mike, thank you, what you're doing is great, okay? As my student told me last time, Mr. Mike, we learned too much about this last lesson. It was great. And thank you, some other people who often come to visit me at my English TV, my School of Languages, which called Let's Speak, Wizwin Center, okay? I take the time of greeting Mr. Christopher, who came last time, and Mr. Christian Ken Bright, okay? Mr. Bright, you came last time. I was really pleased about it. And today, we'll be learning as usual, right? We'll be learning, we'll be discussing. Today I've brought some of my students. They are here next to me. We'll be discussing, talking, interacting too much. You're going to discover them as soon as possible. They are next to me. Before asking the video, I'm going to greet them, and they're going to tell you why are they here. I start by Blessing. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And how are you, Mr. Mike?
Yes, I'm all right. What can you tell people before starting?
Thanks for the floor, Mr. Mike.
Yes.
So, firstly, my name is Blessing Kamapwa Inda, and I'm 13 years old, and I would love to thank you for bringing us here and inviting us here, and we really appreciate it.
What are we going to discuss about?
So today we'll be encouraging you guys to learn English and how English can help in our economic state and business issues.
Thank you very much. Loveness, why are we here?
We are here to embrace the language English and to tell everyone how English is a business language.
But you don't present yourself. Can you present yourself?
Okay, my name is Loveness Moko Kalenda, and I'm a 10-year-old. And I really appreciate that you took the time to bring us here.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate the way you're speaking, okay? Even your courage. We're going to be back after the video, right? Brother Konde, we're going to learn. This is your time. The lesson.
Hi, my name is Rebecca, and in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to give a presentation in English more effectively. Okay? Now, of course, giving a presentation is never easy, especially when it is in another language, which is not your native language. You're going to face some special challenges. And as a corporate trainer who has worked with people from all over the world, I can tell you that giving a presentation is difficult, but it is also one of the most effective ways to improve your English and also to increase your level of confidence as a professional speaking in English. Okay? So let's look at some of the strategies that you can follow in order to give a presentation that is more successful. Okay? Alright, so I've divided the board into two sections. The first part is things that you should do, and the second part will talk about things you should not do. So the first thing that you must remember when you're speaking in English and giving a presentation is to use simple language. Many people feel that their English is not good enough, and so they try to use very complicated words. However, if you're not comfortable with those words or you're not sure of the meaning of those words, it's not going to go over very well. Simple, clear communication is powerful, so try to remember that point, okay? Next, speak slowly. Because you have an accent, and everyone has an accent, but perhaps if you have an accent and English is not your native language, it's going to be a little bit harder for people to understand you. So you need to speak much more slowly than you think. So however slowly you think you're speaking, speak a little more slowly. It will only make it easier for other people to understand exactly what you're saying. Okay? All right. The next point is to make sure to have your visuals professionally edited. Make sure that a native English speaker or an editor has checked all your visuals. There is nothing that compromises the professionalism of a presentation than seeing grammatical errors or spelling errors in the visuals. So make sure to have your visuals professionally edited. The next thing you want to do is to make sure to use more verbs rather than nouns. When you use a lot of nouns, it makes anything that you hear much heavier and difficult to understand. Let me give you a little example of that, okay? 1 second. Okay, so for example, if I say the delivery of the package took place on Sunday afternoon. That's okay. It's not impossible to understand, but let's compare it to this. The post office delivered the package on Sunday afternoon. It's much easier in the second example because I used verbs rather than nouns. Okay? Next point. Use active verbs rather than passive verbs. Let me give you another example. 5,000 apartments were rented by ABC Housing last month. That's an example of using passive verbs. 5,000 apartments were rented, right? Let's contrast that with the active verb. ABC Housing rented 5,000 apartments last month. Okay? So you can see it's much easier when you use the active verbs. The next point is, if possible at all, try to work with a trainer. Try to work with a professional English trainer or a presentations coach who can help you to improve your presentation skills, who can give you feedback on how to improve, what mistakes you're making, what are your strengths and weaknesses. It will be very, very helpful to you. So try to do that if you have the opportunity. Okay? The next point is to use a lot of transition words in your presentation. This helps your listener to know where you're going. So you can say, for example, furthermore, nevertheless, on the contrary. These words explain to your listener what you're trying to say with even more clarity than if you did not use the words. So try to get accustomed to using transition words. Another important point, especially in different parts of the world, is to make sure to write down any important numbers. You need to write them down so that people can see them clearly, and also because in some parts of the world, numbers are described or said in different ways. So for example, this number is what? 100,000. But in India, for example, they call this 1 lakh. So 1 lakh is different from saying 100,000. And if your audience is not familiar with the term 1 lakh or with the term 100,000, then you want to make sure you have written the number down so it is 100% clear. Alright? So these are examples of things you should do. Now let's look at some things you should not do. All right? Don't use abbreviations or acronyms or short forms of names of organizations or anything else from your country which other people are not familiar with, right? Say the entire name and then afterwards you can use the abbreviation once you have explained it. You also want to avoid jargon. Now, what is jargon? Jargon is the special kind of language that people who are in a particular field use when they speak to each other. So, for example, if you listen to computer guys speaking to each other, you will feel like you landed on another planet because they speak language that only they can understand. So, when you're speaking to a general audience, you want to avoid using jargon. Just use regular, plain English to explain what you mean. That way you will reach more members of your audience, okay? Also, make sure you avoid slang. Even though you might hear native English speakers using slang in their presentations, it's best that you don't use it, especially if you're not familiar with how to use it. The worst thing is when we hear non-native English speakers using slang in an incorrect way, because that doesn't sound professional at all. All right? And another point is to avoid crutch words. Now, what's a crutch word? For that, you have to know what's a crutch. Well, crutches are what people use. You know, for example, if someone has broken their leg, they might use something like this to walk along, and these crutches, these sticks, support them while they're walking, let's say with a broken leg, right? Similarly, when people are nervous, they sometimes use sounds instead of words while they're thinking of the right thought or word. So they might say, for example, yeah, and things like that. These are crutch words, and they're often used by people who are not sure what word to say next. So avoid crutch words or sounds. Silence is okay if you're thinking. So while you're thinking, try to keep your mouth closed and avoid these crutch sounds. So these are some basic do's and don'ts, right, for giving a presentation in English. There are many other aspects of giving a presentation in English, and I'm going to write some of those for you on the board. Okay, so here are some other skills that you need to master in order to give a successful presentation in English. You'll find lots of information on this and other strategies on our website, presentationprep.com. There you can learn how to, for example, overcome fear. It's very natural for you to feel a lot of fear when you are presenting in a language which is not your native language. Everybody, or many people, feel afraid when giving a presentation in general, but when you do it in English, it's a little bit more challenging. So you'll learn some mental strategies, psychological strategies, and physical strategies to really help you with this aspect of the fear. You'll also learn how to use body language more effectively. In different cultures, body language means different things. So it's really important to learn how to use body language effectively in an international context. You'll also learn how to structure your presentation for greater clarity. Okay? Also important to be able to handle the question and answer session effectively. That's an important ending of your presentation. So especially if your presentation has gone well, you want to be completely in command during your question and answer session. So you'll learn some effective strategies for doing that. And last but not least, you'll also learn how to, you'll also be able to print out presentation templates which you can actually use when you're doing your next presentation. So for that, go to our website, www.presentationprep.com. It's a free website, www.presentationprep.com. All the best with your presentations.
Thank you, teacher. It's what we should be doing. I mean, wonderful explanation, the way you're presenting your show, the way you're presenting when you're before people, okay? You have to know. Don't use scratch words, don't use slangs, don't be quick. In addition, if that language is not a native language, right? Thank you very much, teacher. I repeat again, it's what we should be doing. Let me read a message here we've received. Hello, my name is Neson Ndambi. I'm so happy to watch you. So, I don't know your program, your TV show program. It's very impressed. Thank you very much. It's every Tuesday at 1:10 p.m. Right? God bless you. Back now. Let's come back to our ship about encouraging people learning English. Okay? Is English important in people's lives? If yes, how? Blessing.
So I think English is really important to everyone's life. It depends, because like English can get you to many places, like if you're traveling to other places and if you are doing a business, and I find English compulsory or necessary to learn.
Compulsory or necessary to learn. Blessing, you have the same question. So let me tell you, viewers, please don't call us, okay? Send your message, we're going to read it. And write your name down, even the township, we're going to read it on live. Thank you for calling. Yes, you have the same question?
Yes, I think English is important to people's lives because you have to know the language if you want a job or a privilege in your job. Because in Congo, they're looking for people who know English to be in the international businesses. So yes, English is important in our lives.
And Congo has many international companies like Vodacom and Chelsea, and yeah, for you to know English would be a really big promotion.
Thank you very much. You've just said, or you've just spoken that it's compulsory, it's really necessary. But some other people say English is difficult to learn. When they learn English, it's difficult to understand. Are they right or wrong? Loveness.
Firstly, I think it depends on what type of English you are determined to learn. Because there are different types of English. There is American English, there is British English, there is Canadian English, French English. There are a lot of different types of Englishes. So it's if you are determined enough to learn the type of English you want to learn.
And which one do you prefer, British, American, or what?
I prefer British English because it's easier and you can describe things better, and it's a good type of English.
I think American is difficult.
American is not that bad. Yeah, you can also try to learn American English. It's not that bad, and yeah.
Which one do you prefer better?
I still prefer British English.
British English?
Yes.
All right. Okay. And what are strategies, okay, can some other people have, or for having a same mastery in English like you? What can they do for having the same mastery?
Okay, so what I'm advising you guys to do is to have motivation or reason to learn English, because you can't out of the blue want to learn English without having a reason. So I would advise you guys to at least have a motivation and to surround yourself with English speakers too, because you need to speak with other people English, because you won't be able to like master the language or practice, because practice makes perfect and you should be able to do that.
Practice makes perfect. By the end of practicing, interacting, you're going to be perfect. Okay, it's really necessary. Blessing, you've got the same question.
Yes.
I like, as my sister said, you should surround yourself with English speakers because you can't learn English in a French community. Or if you don't have any friends, you could try going on social media. There are different types of social media. You can find some English people and practice your English. Also, I think you should have the right motivation coming from something. You can have a reason. You can write your reason down. You can post it or you can paste it on your wall and look at it every day as your motivation. Yeah.
And also you can check out some YouTube channels like what Mr. Mike also showed us here, and they will teach you more English and you'll be able to learn. And for you guys who are French speakers out there, English can be easy for you guys because some words from French put into English makes the English language. And if you have watched Mr. Mike's previous episode, you will see that he taught us about the Anglo-Saxons and the French making the language English and where we get the words from, like continue, cuisine, rendezvous, and so on.
So today I'm really impressed. These are young girls, okay, speaking, having this bravery of coming on TV, facing viewers, speaking quietly, easily. I'm really impressed. So tell me, where do you learn English? Loveness?
We learn English at Wizwin Center.
And it's in Libete Township. And for more information, just check down below on the screen, down on the screen there.
So I am really proud of myself. This is the fruit of my work. This is the fruit of my work, okay? But if you want to be like them, if you need to have a certain mastery like them, you better join us, okay? Give me a call or call me. Come to Wizwin Center. You will be the best. It will be great, okay? Thank you very much. I'm really happy. And who is your teacher? Blessing, who is your teacher? Excuse me, I told you don't call me. It will be difficult for me to answer on live. Send your message. Thanks a lot. God bless you. Loveness, who is your teacher?
Our teacher is Mr. Mike, he is with us now.
Is he a good teacher?
Yes, he is a very great teacher because he interacts with his kids and he tries his best to teach you. He's patient. He's a really good teacher.
Yes, Blessing?
Yeah, I do find Mr. Mike over here a great teacher because he's really patient with us and he never gets tired and he loves teaching so much, and we really appreciate that. And thank you for having us here too.
Thank you very much. Don't you know that we in French-speaking country, right? Why are you encouraging people to learn English? Is this really necessary? Loveness?
Yes, it is necessary even though you're in a French-speaking country. Okay, let's talk about Congo. Yeah. In Congo, the international organizations or places to work, there are international organizations who are looking for English speakers to be in the jobs, to get the job. So English is a privilege, it's a business language, as my sister said previously. Yeah, it is a very important language for business.
Just for business?
Yeah, also for communicating.
Yes.
Communicating, and English can take you many places. So I really think that English is very important even though you're in a different country.
You know, sometimes when I see, those young girls speaking like this, it makes me, I feel like crying, jumping, dancing, singing, sleeping. So, great. Yes, what about you?
Having a certain mastery on English is going to take you many places, like just what my sister said, and it's really important, very necessary. You can go many places with it, and you can get job opportunities, especially in Congo, because like for the jobs here, they usually recommend people who speak English or have a certain mastery on it, and I find it really, really important for you guys. So I'm encouraging you guys to learn English, and if you have kids who are small and you want them to know English too, I encourage you guys to teach them now, and don't be scared. Like, they'll still remember their French, just be able to teach them a bit of English and they'll go many places.
Great. Loveless, I'm going to ask you to conjugate the verb. Okay? Can you conjugate the verb in choice, or do you want me to choose for you the verb to cook in present tense?
Okay, I cook, you cook, he cooks, she cooks, it cooks, we cook, you cook, they cook.
Do you know how to cook? Do you know to cook?
Not really.
Not really? What do you
Yeah.
often cook? What do you cook well?
Okay, to tell the truth, I don't cook that much, but I can cook spaghetti,
Yes.
yeah, and pasta.
But I am a boy, but I cook very well. If I'm in the kitchen, you know, everybody is happy, saying, "Oh, we are going to eat. It will be delicious." What about you? Conjugate the verb to go.
Okay, the verb to go in present tense.
Yeah.
I go, you go, he goes, she goes, it goes, we go, you go, and they go.
They go. Oh, great. But I have another suggestion. You know, we, as I've just put here, that we in French-speaking country, right? When we study maternal school, primary school, secondary, university, okay, we learn in French, right? But after having completed your studies, you go to look for a job or to seek a job, okay? Before being hired, they ask you to have an English knowledge. Is it good or bad in French-speaking country? Yes?
It's actually good because
Yes.
you knowing English in that industry, in that job, can get you to many places. Like, you can even go travel to America or to the European to do a collaboration with them or anything. It can take you many places. So I just advise you to learn English, to practice, have a trainer like what the video said, and for you to be able to have a certain mastery in it.
Yes, Lawrence?
Yes, it is important. As my sister said, it can take you many places. It can take you to US, European, collaborating with different types of English speakers, and you can get an upgrade, as we can say, upper point or anything like that. You can learn, you can know more than all the other workers. So yeah, I really think it's very important to know English.
Okay, I'd like you to encourage also your grandma, your grandfather, motherly uncle, motherly aunt. Tell them about English. They have to join Wizwin Center. Tell them something. They're watching right now.
So guys, we're encouraging you, yes you.
What even the names?
What can I say?
Yeah.
So I have my cousins at home, Alicia Elias Zimbu, and I have Adam Moore, and I would just love to encourage you guys to learn English. Like, you guys should know English, because if you want to get somewhere, like, I need you guys to learn English.
Yes, tell them something.
Okay, we have many people who are related to me, but I'm just gonna say a bit. Tantine Gracia, Tantine Merve, Tantine Letty, Tantine Angel. Okay, those are the ones.
Papa Elin Zimbu.
Yeah, Elin Zimbu, and my cousins, which I adore, Elicia Zimbu and Elian Zimbu. And I love you, grandmother, since I'm your.
And
I have your name.
Grandpa
And
Crispe.
I also love my uncle because he's so kind to me, and I love him so much. Thank you, family.
Family. I heard Elin Zimu. Elin Zimu is a great man. He's a star. Okay, he's a computer scientist. Elin Zimu, I greet you. Okay, father of Alicia, Eliel, and so on. Okay, we greet you. So please don't call us. Okay, send your message. We are going to read it. Right? We are on live. We cannot do what you you asking us right now, it will be impossible right now. Okay, yes, what do you want to do?
Can I make a shout out? Okay, it's just one person. Okay, I want to say shout out to my family because I love you all, and I hope you guys know that. So thank
But you know, I'd like you to sing. Just okay, you choose a song in choice. Okay, you can sing it. Yes, just sing a little bit. The English song.
English song.
Yes, just a part.
Okay,
So our cousin had his birthday past. This is a happy belated birthday.
Yes, sing it.
So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, I think as soon as possible you're going to sing for me. Also, it will be my birthday party, right? You're going to sing for me too. Okay, no, I say as soon as possible, not today.
Okay.
We're going to do it next time, right? Do you have something to add again about it, or you give your last word for closing this TV show?
So you guys should learn English. So I'm telling you guys to learn English because it's going to take you many places, and you guys will be able to benefit from it, and you can come thank me later.
Yes.
I would love to thank all the people who are watching me right now with my sister and Mr. Mike. I would love to thank Mr. Mike for taking us on chat. I really appreciate it for you giving us the time to speak to the world about English.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I congratulate you. I said thank you. Okay. God bless you. Do you want to speak again?
No.
Okay. I say thank you. Okay. Keep on working. Keep on learning. Okay. You are going to be the best. Okay. You're the best, but you are going to add again something interesting, having a data knowledge. Okay. In your language. God bless you. I appreciate your bravery. Okay. Yes. Do you want to say something? Yes.
I have nothing to say.
Okay, never mind. Say bye to viewers. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, but Mr. Mike is there, right?
Yes.
They've gone, Mr. Mike. Okay, bye bye. See you next time. Okay.
See you next time.
Thank you, Mike, very much. We're going to keep on here. Keep on learning, right? Because we've got another video. Okay, it's not the end of this TV show. We are going to ask another video to our brother Conde, and after that, we're going to give our last word about it. Conde, keep on.
Hi, my name is Emma, and today's lesson is a fun lesson on going to the hairdressers. So, as you've seen in some of my videos, if you watch my videos, I have had different haircuts. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. What do you say when you want to change your hair? Okay, so the first thing I want to teach you is the difference between a barber and a hairdresser, and a barber shop and a hair salon. Okay, so notice I've written barber and barber shop in blue. Why do you think I did that? Well, it's because boys and men go to the barber, who is the person who cuts the hair, and the barber works at the barber shop. So the barber shop is the place, and the barber is the person. They deal with men only, boys and men only, so no women. Now I've written this one in red because I didn't have a pink marker, but we also have hairdressers, so these are people. And where do hairdressers work? At hair salons. Okay, so with hairdressers, unlike with barbers, hairdressers work with both men and women. So they work with both at the hair salon. Okay? So now let's look at some common phrases we may use when we go to the hair salon. If I want to get my hair changed, I may say, I would like to get, or I could say, I would like to have. So you have a choice. They're both equal. I would like to have a cut. Okay, this means they just cut your hair. I would like to have a wash and cut. This means they wash your hair first and then they cut it. I would like to get a wash, cut, and dry. In this case, they wash your hair, they cut it, and then they blow dry it. And maybe they style it a bit. I can also say, I would like to get a trim. So what is a trim? A trim is a very little cut. So my hair is getting kind of long. I want it maybe to about here. I'm going to get a trim. How much should I get cut off? Maybe I'll say I'd like 2 inches off. So that's a trim, 2 inches. Okay, and finally, another expression that you may need. I would like to get a perm. So what's a perm? A perm stands for permanent. And permanent means something that doesn't change. So maybe I have very straight hair, and I don't like straight hair. Maybe I like curly hair. So I may get a perm, so my hair is always curly. Or maybe I get a perm, so my hair is always straight. So they use chemicals to change your hair so it's either curly or straight. So that's a perm. Now, one thing I'd like to draw your attention to is, first of all, this is very polite to say, which is good. I would like. I can also say, write it here, I'd like. So both of these are correct. I would like, I'd like, to, get, to have. And what do these 5 things have in common? They all need an article. Because these, a cut is a noun, a wash and cut, a wash, cut, and dry, a trim, a perm. Okay, so they need articles. Okay, one other thing I should mention about perms. I said they're permanent, but when we talk about perms, they don't last forever. So if you get one perm, it's not going to last you the rest of your life. It may last you 2 months, 1 month, 3 months. So even though we say permanent, it's not forever. It's actually for kind of a short time, just longer than a lot of other hair treatments. Okay, so now we have another phrase, I'd, which stands for I would. So again, you have that choice. I'd like to get my hair. Okay, so notice in this, before we had I'd like to get a cut. Now we're saying I'd like to get my hair cut. So this is another option. You can say I'd like to get a cut. I'd like to get my hair cut. 2 different ways to say the same thing. I'd like to get my hair colored. So maybe I want to change the color of my hair. I'd go to the hairdresser and say, I'd like to get my hair colored. I'd like to get my hair bleached. So what is bleached? Well, I have sort of brownish blonde hair. Say if I want my hair to be very, very, very blonde. So very light blonde, that's bleaching your hair. So it's when your hair goes a lot lighter. Okay, so I could say, I'd like to get my hair bleached. I could also say, I'd like to get my hair dyed. Colored and dyed are very similar things. They both mean you want to change your hair color. So I could say, I'd like to get my hair dyed pink. Do you guys think this would be a good idea? Or I'd like to get my hair dyed black. Okay, we've looked at perm already, but we can add ed, because now we're talking about a verb. An adjective. I'd like to get my hair permed. Okay, so again, I have straight hair. I want my hair curly. I could ask, I'd like to get my hair permed. Okay, streaked. I'd like to get my hair streaked. What does that mean? well, here's hair. And maybe I like my hair color, but I also want some stripes in it. So I might actually get black streaks. So some of my hair now is blonde, and some of my hair is now black. Okay? Or I might get blonde streaks, which is just slightly lighter than the hair color I have, on brown hair. Okay, so streaks is kind of like stripes, where you have more than one color in your hair. Okay? I could also say, I'd like to get my hair styled. Okay? So maybe I'm in high school, it's prom, the big dance, and I want my hair to get styled. Maybe I want the hairdresser to make it curly, but not permanent. I don't want it to stay curly for the next month. I just want it curly tonight.
Great. Oh, it's really great. Now I have barber shop, hairdresser, hair salon. So we are learning. Good. Okay. I say it's what we should be doing. It's an advice I give you, a piece of advice I give you. We're going to do it time to time, learning. And it's what I often say, learning for a human being doesn't have any ends, right? And if you want to join us, you want to participate or partake this TV show like Blessing Ngamaba and Loveness Ngamaba, give me a call, okay? Call me. You, as some one mom have just called me. She needs to participate next time. Mom, call me after. We're going to talk, okay, together, and we're going to partake next time. And join Wizwin Center. Wizwin Center is located in Limited Township, inside Saint Dominic Parish, right? It's a big church in Limited Township, inside Saint Dominic Parish. I'm there. We are there. We teach so many languages. We have Spanish, English, French, Portuguese, Italian, German. Okay. I greet Mr. Amos Bunduki, teacher. I greet you. I greet Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike. Okay. He is my twin. We've got the same name, Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike teaches Italian, Portuguese, and French. Okay. Thank you very much. We are going to go forward. We are going to progress. I think as soon as possible, we're going to be the famous in Democratic Republic of Congo. I don't speak about Kinshasa. I'm not only focused on Kinshasa. I am focused on Congo, okay? We need this evolution. We need you to evolve, learning English, having much knowledge. I often say thorough knowledge in English, right? Knowing how to utter words correctly, using conjugation, grammatical structures, okay? Be at ease when you're speaking in front of everybody, even before viewers like this, you're at ease. You're speaking, you utter correctly words, and it's really interesting. God bless you. See you next time. Bye-bye. Stay tuned. Okay, bye.
It's good to have a friend, but it's a blessing to have a faithful friend. Jesus, you are the faithful friend I have in the intimate part of my heart. It's good to have a